Hello, Brother Monroe here. Welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts and Division 4 and building the competitors with resident expert, naval historian extraordinaire, who's helping keeping me right with all this. So what ship are we building today?
Today we're going to have a crack at HMS Renown in her World War II refit condition.
So for that, we're going to go with the battlecruiser 5. Is that right?
So yes, because it's got the step down aft, and it actually does dial down all the way to 37,000 tons, which is okay. It's 1,000 tons more than Renown historically was, depending on exactly whether you use long tons or regular tons, but it's pretty much spot on.
Yeah, it's pretty close. And our only other option was the large cruiser, which doesn't look right.
Because the modernised battlecruiser is just absurdly too large.
So, which tower most closely kind of fits? So we've got the modern tower one, which has I think, this would be the bridge up here, wouldn't it?
So we want the Queen Anne's mansion because she's kind of the poster child for it if it's on there.
Now, I think this hull does not get access to that. The modernised does, from what I remember, but that's even bigger. They get access to this style of tower.
You know what? You've got the quarterdeck step down even on this hull.
I think
given that a couple of them we've had to actually go and rack it right down. Should we go see if we can go with this one? Because otherwise we are going to end up basically building repulse.
Yeah, fair enough. So yeah, we'll go with this, and we'll be seeing this one again when we do. We'll probably end up using the 5 to do hood, and
because that's the superstructure is very suitable for that.
Yeah.
What have we got in terms of what's advanced one like main tower? Because this one looks a little bit too big.
So, so this is the smallest front tower we get access to.
Oh, is it? Okay.
There is a matching. Annoyingly, I think on this hull, none of them really match. So you've got one that kind of looks like that, and then the next one up actually sticks out a bit over the edge of the hull, which isn't great. And then you have the ones that are more like a KG5, which with the float plane
although we didn't want a float plane for Renown, so
that would be something like that.
Yeah. I mean, the masts are in the wrong position, but if it's the only one that gives us a float plane launcher, I suppose we can play around with that and see how we go.
Sure.
See if we've got the space. Although, yeah, I'm looking at that.
It's tricky, isn't it?
Yeah, it's because you can see there where they're expecting you to put the funnel after the aircraft launcher.
You can fit one here as well.
Yeah, but Renown is a mast and 2 funnels, then the planes.
The only way you can fit 2 funnels is either one here, or 2 here. I think if you have...
Let's step down the secondary then.
If you have this one, say, that one does fit 2 funnels, one on the top and one underneath, one on the lower bit.
Yeah. So if we take the superstructure, the superstructure all the way back to the back end of the deck, and then we can just leave a gap and say that's where the aircraft launchers would be.
Sure.
And if we put the primary tower as far forward as we can,
you can put it all the way here if you want to, which is a very
let's see if we can get because I mean the secondaries, as I say, the actual historic mast is the other way around, but never mind on the secondary tower. But it's the closest we're going to get, I think, at this stage. So if we see where we can put the 2 funnels.
So, what did the funnels look like? We have a couple of designs. So we've got this one, and then this one, and then I think this one all have a similar appearance. So this one has the kind of balcony on it, and this one has the 2 kind of lookout positions, whereas this one's
I
just a
think
funnel.
I think we want the one that you've got at the back.
Mm-hmm.
We want as the forward funnel. So get rid of the little one at the front.
Oh, on the deck, like that, or up here, tucked in behind the
actually,
mast.
point. What happens if we stuck it in there? Okay, if we're doing that, it's a fraction tool, but it's not terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And then, okay, because then the other funnel is roughly equal with it and continues the superstructure after. So you said this is the smallest main tower.
Yes.
What are the other two main towers like?
So the next one looks like that. So
We're
just
still not going to get two funnels in there.
Slightly bigger, and then we have the 3, which again I don't think we're going to be.
That's far too large.
Yeah.
I mean, it's overhanging, and that's okay. So let's should we try 2?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's overhanging. Okay, we'll go with a 1. And then stick the funnel with a little balcony on it there, and then the tallest other funnel we can find after that.
Oh, it's not wanting to fit on there. Come on.
No, it's got to be right behind.
Right behind it.
Funnel. Yeah,
like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I suppose we've got a little gap for the aircraft. We'll see exactly about positioning later, because Renown was quite forward weighted for in that sense.
Okay. Guns in that case.
Right.
Now,
so guns.
She had 15s, I seem to remember.
She had 3 twin 15s.
Now, annoyingly, they look like this, which is the top end Mark IV
that's kind of hood
model.
style.
The only way we can get the kind of classic ones is if we go down to, I think it's, we'd have to change the year. And for reasons of recording, that's going to be quite tricky.
Yes.
And then was there a big gap on the quarterdeck, or was
No, it was right up against the drop down. So yeah,
like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that is already looking quite a lot like Renown, with the exception of the funnels being stepped down a little bit. Can we move the secondary tower a little bit further off? That might give us a bit of breathing room.
I think it's all. Yes, that's as far as I can get it.
Put it.
Because it would be nice to tuck it right in.
Yeah.
And it looks like it should, but there's some.
And that's the smallest one we can get.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Secondary guns?
Right, secondary guns, we have 5 pairs of twin 4.5s, which of course we don't have a 4.5, so I guess we'll go with 4 probably.
4.
Because we tend to use the 5s to represent the 5.25s. So, and the layout, we want 2 pairs aft of the little aircraft launch section. So it looks like we've got maybe one like there and one where the boats are. Yeah. We want one more pair there somewhere there if we can fit it. Maybe just forward. Or just on the blank part of the
I can fit them kind of there.
Yeah, go for that. Yeah, and then we want the other 3 should be pretty much there.
Can fit one up here, which is a little bit.
Let's see. Can we get another one on the deck, kind of like we did with the other one, but just aft of the structure? Yeah, go with that.
Absolutely.
That's closer to reality. I mean, the amidships is just a mess compared to Renown historically, but it's also the forward and aft bits aren't too bad.
Replicating the results.
Yeah,
that's certainly a very nasty. Again, purely from a game point of view, that's a very nasty anti-destroyer kind of broadside that it's got. AA guns.
So as initially built, it had the wonderful octuple pom-poms, which
sadly
we're not
not
really
in the
going to be
game.
able to replicate. But when obviously she's fitted with orlicans in vast quantities, so we could put twin 2-inch, just scatter them all over.
Now, British hulls do tend to have quite a few slots you can kind of jam them in. There we go.
We have such a hilarious forward weight offset.
I know. I'm not sure how we're going to fix that. Well, we can try. We might have to.
We might have to jam
move
all the superstructure together.
Yeah, probably moving the funnels around will help a bit. But yeah, we'll have to we'll have to try something. Again, that's the game. That's the game being annoying rather than anything else. Okay. She didn't carry torpedo tubes or anything like that, did she?
Not by this point, no. She did start out with them, but her refit configuration got rid of them.
Okay, so speed. How fast could she make?
31.
31? Which is making the 4-weight offset even worse. Oh, my goodness. Right.
Range is... well, we're going to go with range once we've sorted everything else out, aren't we? So, bulkhead standard.
And then standard crew. And then... because she wasn't a nasty posting where sailors complained or anything like that.
So with oil, I mean, she's got access to the best oil in the world, either from British fields in the Middle East or from American fields once America gets involved, or buying it early on because trade not disrupted. So that's all good. She's got the ability to force the boilers. And she's got the latest and greatest in geared turbines, because again, she's a refit. Auxiliary machinery, I'd probably go with an AUX 2, because it's there.
There was some.
Yeah. Shaft 2, she's a modernized ship, and steering, I'd actually probably say Electro Hydro 1. Okay.
That's I use that a fair amount, the electro hydro steering. I quite like that from a game point of view. The armor?
The armor is, I'm gonna say Krupp 2. Because it's high quality World War One stuff.
And
Barbette, probably. I mean, given it's not the world's most heavily protected Barbette, I'd say Barbette 2. Anti-torpedo. She did get a bit of enhanced anti-torpedo protection. It was quite an upgrade. So I'd say probably 3.
Very nice.
She's again World War One grade, double bottom, standard bulkheads. Anti-flood 2. She's got decent damage control. She's got step up above most people, but not fantastic. And then in her refit configuration, she's not an all or nothing ship still, and she's not turtleback, so I'm gonna go with Citadel 3.
All right. And then armament, kind of Royal Navy standard would have been cordite and picric.
Cordite and picric acid.
So for those wondering, gives a shell weight of 1,073 kilos and a muzzle velocity of 765 meters per second.
Which is, the muzzle velocity is actually almost spot on. It's sitting just a fraction over standard and a reasonable bit under the supercharge. How much did you say the shell weight was?
1,073 kilos.
That's a bit heavy, but oh well.
Again, possibly due to these being Mark IVs. So perhaps
those are theoretically the guns planned for the King George V when she was still a 15.
Anyway. Well, we better not stray into ships we wish we could have seen, or maybe another series. So we've got enhanced reload. They weren't semi-automatic or anything complicated like that. And the turret traverse,
advanced hydraulics, because they got refitted.
And then a rangefinder.
So rangefinder again. I'd go with coincidence 4.
Mm-hmm.
Because the one they're using coincidence rangefinders. You don't. I'd keep coincidence 5 for basically Italian ships and Yamato when they're absolutely going all out with the.
Okay. Just a hydrophone.
Yeah.
Didn't have a sonar set or anything fancy like that.
No, radio's quite advanced though.
Would she
So
have?
give her.
Would she have an RDF on board?
She would have the capability to conduct it.
I mean, it's
So,
not going to
yeah,
make
I'd give her
much
an
of a
idea,
difference,
no.
but can
Might as
pop
well
one,
do it.
pop
And
one
then
on anyway.
radar, she's definitely got Gen 2 because
Very nice.
British are some of the most advanced radar users in the world at that point.
So just because we got everything set, the range.
Yes,
that would be
range
probably a little
range,
high, is it?
as refitted, should be about 10,000, just a fraction over 10,000, 10,500.
Okay, so 11,373
Yeah.
seems reasonable enough then.
Yeah.
And then armor.
Yes, so not the world's most protected. 9 inches of belt.
Okay.
And then 3 inches fore and aft.
Mm-hmm.
Main deck is, however, quite well protected. It's 5 inches, but then 1 inch fore and aft.
Mm-hmm.
Conning tower, as much as it was never used, 10 inches.
I know. I remember. Was it that they always went out into the unarmored bit above it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Conning tower might as well use a cheese storage or something. 1.5 on the superstructure.
Okay. So not too far off the default armor. And what about the turrets?
Okay, so the turrets have 9 inches of protection forward.
Mm-hmm.
And then the turret tops are 4.25. So if it'll allow for 4.3, I guess maybe.
4.3. There we go. And then these ones we can't change very much. The fours and the 2s.
The 4.5s.
They've got an inch at the moment, which is the maximum you can.
Oh yeah,
give
because
them.
the secondaries. Fair enough.
So, I mean, I'll attempt to try and balance her a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
but
the thing is, displacement-wise, we're pretty much spot on.
I was just about to say that. It's very close in terms of displacement.
Yeah. Yeah, a few inches there, and a couple of AA mounts is pretty much the.
Yeah.
We could try and see what happens if we shift the. If we shift the aft turret back a step or two, and then maybe move, as you say,
yeah. The problem with turrets is I think it'll make a couple of % difference.
Yeah, okay, never mind.
Since they updated how the balancing works, basically when you move the funnels around, what you're doing is moving all the engines and stuff around as well. So it tends to make a massive difference.
Can you fit that funnel on the aft superstructure?
Not quite. I could if I went with a slightly smaller one, I think.
Okay, let's see if we go with.
Maybe. Or maybe it's just that 2-inch gun's getting in the way. Yes, I can, but it's a smaller funnel.
But the thing is, it's height-wise, it actually brings it more into line with what it should be. So.
And then it would be to try and bring this back, but I'm going to have to take these guns off or they'll get in the way.
We can really
try and remember to put them back. But yeah, even if I push this all the way back here,
at least 20.
that which, yeah, it's a very different looking ship, but would work. It's still got a 4-weight offset somehow. Yeah, I don't know. What would you prefer to do? Have one that looks.
Well, how much does the 4-weight make a difference in the game? That's the one thing I've.
Okay. So it will show you here. So you've got longitudinal weight offset just here, and if you hover over it, it tells you the penalty. So with a 13% offset, you've got -4% to base accuracy. You've got accuracy penalties enhanced for the sea state. 12% less acceleration. Slows your turning rate by about 4%. Things like that. It also increased our range, which is interesting. I'd never noticed that before, but we increased the range
because there's less resistance than if you're not nosediving all the time.
By 1,000 kilometers. So I mean, this one still has a 4 weight offset.
Yeah, we need to give it. We still need to give it back 2 of its secondary pairs.
Which,
I think just have to go in this altered version. Go forward of the bridge, because it shouldn't. They shouldn't interfere with. Oh, they're not gonna. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, if we stick them in like that, they will. Yeah, they won't interfere with B turret. I think they are with A just slightly, but not very much.
I mean, again, it's kind of if you. It almost like Congo. It's like as long as you look at it from the aft funnel forward, it still looks very much like Renown. It's just
there you go.
It's just kind of we're missing the gap for the aircraft launcher and would otherwise be the aft superstructure, which it's not.
Yeah,
I think the thing is we've shown in this video we can make a ship that looks somewhat like Renown.
Yeah.
We've just kind of mashed the superstructure up a bit so we're not ending up just diving all the time.
Yeah, I think you can replicate the look, or you can replicate how she would handle, because with a 40, I think it was 43, or was even up to 50 at one point, % weight offset, the ship would really struggle with the handling, and it would have a terrible accuracy penalty. I mean, we've already got a bad enough smoke interference penalty, but a lot of the ships that we've been building for this have that. So,
but also, I mean, it's as we said earlier, it's also a slight issue of the fact we're using 1940, so we are getting things like the overly large ahistorical gun turrets and such. So
yeah, exactly.
You could probably make a slightly closer to Renown if we dialed the years back, but then we'd have great fun trying to find someone to fight it.
Well, maybe if we end up doing World War One, she'll or just afterwards, you might do the original version or something, because the Battlecruiser 3 hull is the one that's supposed to be for Renowns, but you don't get it in 1940, which I think is a crying shame. No. I wish it was still available, but we're gonna have to make do. I wonder why it's saying I can't launch. I do have a ship with the required type. What are you doing, game?
Is it Battleship versus Battlecruiser?
Yeah, I've got a Battlecruiser. Here we go. I don't know. It's being strange. Fleet has an unfinished ship. No, it doesn't. What are you on about? Game? Hold on. Let's go right out and back in again. A battlecruiser against a battleship. Design ship. We'd like to use Renown, please. Hold on. Maybe if I try going new and then go back. I don't know what it's on about. I'll fix that in. I'll fix that in post. We can. We can buy her sitting in dry dock, freshly finished, and looking good. Now, in terms of how she'll do, I mean, Division 4, she's the only ship with 15-inch guns. I know she only has 6, but she's definitely packing the largest guns in the class. So I'm really excited to see how she does. But yeah, thank you as always, and we will be back for another build video very soon. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again soon for some more Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.